During this video, I'm going to go over what was covered in the string manipulations portion of the MyEducator reading. So that includes length, left, right, count, mid, split, ucase, lcase, and concatenate, or the and sign. So what I have here is a bunch of names, separated first name, last name, separated by a space, and then I have the city they work in and their employee ID. And what I want to do is figure out what is the length of the name, give me the left two characters of the city, and then give me the right two characters of the ID. These should match every single time. Give me the count of the name, the number of characters in the name. That should match the length. Then give me the 5-digit ID over here in the ID row. So that's 5 characters starting with a third character. That'll be a mid. Then I'm going to split the first and last name using a space character delimiter and stick the surname here, the given name here. Then I want to display the name just in caps, then just in lowercase. Then I want to create some sort of natural language sentence by concatenating variables, variable values, and some strings. So let's get at it. Instead of taking time to set up everything, I've already set it up for you. You know how to do all this, so I didn't want to take time to set up all this. What this does, just so I can walk you through it very quickly, I have an I incrementing variable. It's going to start at 3. I'll explain why in just a sec. I have a cell range variable, so I could say for each cell in this range, the range is going to be from here to here. So I'm saying for each of these names, do something. What is that something? Well, we have to figure that out. And we're going to increment through the columns using this I incrementing variable. I'm starting with 3 because our active cell is going to be over in the A column, and I want to offset by 3 to start with. So 1, 2, 3 will give us the first cell where we actually need to put some content in it. So I'm going to have I start with 3, and then it'll increment I equals I plus 1, and it'll become 4, and then 5, and so we'll go to those columns as we go. So hopefully that made a little bit of sense. Let's start coding. So the first thing we need is the name, the length of the name of the individual. So that would be something like this. Cell.offset. How many rows? None. How many columns? I. So right now it's 3. Value equals, what does it equal? Equals the length, L-E-N, of cell, which is the cell I'm currently in, because I'm using that as my iterating object through this for loop. So give me the length of cell, and that's it. That should work. Then I want to increment I, right? So I equals I plus 1, and let's do it for this next one. Cell.offset, what do we want? 0, I again. Now I equals 4. Value, I should have just copied this over, I'll do that next time. Equals what? Equals the left of the city. Well, the city would be cell.offset. How many rows? 0. How many columns? 1. You can see over here, let me finish this code. You can see over here, here's the cell we're in. We want to offset by 1 to get the city. And so we want the left of that value, value, comma, how many of the left do we want? We want 2, the 2 left characters. And then we want to increment it again. I equals I plus 1. For the sake of time, let me just copy these and we'll just edit it as we go. Okay, so we've done left, let's do right. The right is going to look like this. It's actually going to look more like this. Let me grab this, Control C, Control V, and it's going to be right instead of left. Right of, what do we want? We want of the ID, so it's not offset 1, it's going to be offset 2 to go get that ID value, and I want the right 2, so that works actually, that should be fine. Count of name, let's see, we would like the, instead of len, I want, let's see, cell, get rid of this, cell.characters.count, and that'll do it. And then I want the mid 5 of ID. Here we go. All right, so mid cell dot offset 0, 2 to go over to the ID column, and I want to start on the third character because it goes I and then D and then starts with the ID numbers. So third character, and then from the third character give me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 characters. Yeah, that should do it. Cool. And then increment split. Okay, this one's a little trickier. Let me scroll down here. So if we would just want the surname, what we need to do is create a name variable, something like my name equals cell, split cell dot value, cell dot value, comma. The delimiter is the quote space quote. That's an empty quotes with a single space in there because the names are split by a single space, and that will do. And then I'm saying that this equals, if we're splitting it on a space, then if you look at this top one, Anne goes into the 0th position of this array, and then Hannah will go into the 1st position of the array. So if I want the surname, I want to say my name 1. That'll be the surname. Cool. And let me just copy this for this next one. And instead of 1, it's 0. That's the given name. Cool, hope that works. Now this one, it's going to be upper, U case, and this one's going to be L case. And then the last one's the trickiest one. All right, this is going to be something like this. And Hannah. So we can say cell, oops, not in quotes, cell dot value, and quotes space works at the space quote and cell dot offset. We want the city, so that's 0, 1 column over dot value, and quote space office period quote. So that should give me whatever their name is, works at the, whatever their office is, office, period. Cool. And then I don't need to increment I again. What I actually need to do is set I back to 3. Because what it's going to do is it's going to go down to the next row, and then I want it to go back to the 3rd column. So that should do that. I think that'll work. Let's try it and see. It never works first try. I probably forgot to, yeah, I forgot my name. We have to dim that. So here we go. Dim my name as, I'm going to do it as a variant. That's going to accept the size of the array, no matter what size we want. I could predefine it as a size 2 upper limit array, but this will be fine. All right. So let's try it. F8. Didn't yell at me yet. Jump to A2, and it's going to stick all this in there. We won't see it happen because I've already stuck the first row in there for us. But if we did it right, nothing should change. Here's what we'll see if it's working. Let me move this out of the way. Here we go. It put 10 in there. LI is correct. LI again, good. 10 again, good. There's the ID. Elias, Luke, or Luca, Luca Elias, Luca Elias. Luca Elias works at the Linden office. Woo! This is working. That's amazing. I'm going to hit F5, and it beeped at us, and we see that it worked. Let me just do this. There we go. Hey, look at that. Cool. So that's how you use all these string manipulations. One more time. Len gives us the length of the contents of whatever string we give it. So I said cell in this case, which was the name. So it's going to give us the exact number of characters, including spaces and punctuation for that name. Let's see. Left gives us the left number of characters of whatever string we tell it to give us the number of characters for. So we said give us the left 2 characters of the city, which was cell.offset 1 over there. Right does the exact same thing, but gives us the right characters. We wanted the right 2 characters of the ID. Count gives us a count of something. In this case, we wanted the count of characters of the name. Scroll down. Mid gives us the middle of something. So we said, go look at the ID, which was 2 over from the cell. Go look at the 3rd character, start there, and then give us that character plus the 4 more after that. So starting with 3, give us 5 characters. Good. Split, you throw values into an array. So this was different from everything else we did. We created a new variable, an array variable, and it received however many pieces of cell there were split by space. In this case, there was only 1 space in each of these cells, and that's what split up the first and last name. So it received 2 values in its array, and we said the surname is the last value in the first position, and the given name was in the 0th position. Remembering arrays start in the 0th position. Okay. Then UCase and LCase are pretty straightforward. You just UCase whatever string you want, and it throws it to you in all uppercases. Same with LCase, all lowercase. And then the last thing, you're able to concatenate using the AND sign, or is that ampersand? Is that what they call it? The AND sign. So we had a range value we gave it, plus a string, plus another range value, plus another string. You could also throw variables in there if you wanted, or numbers as strings. Anyway, that's what we did. Hope that makes sense.